Let's prepare on fluid kinematics. So now we are going to see about fluid kinematics. So kinematics is the study of the fluids where we consider displacement, velocity, acceleration and also the force that is acting on the fluid. So this study only we call it as fluid kinematics. So here there are two methods, Lagrangian method and Eulerian method. So Lagrangian method means here the behavior of single fluid particle alone is analyzed, whereas in the Eulerian method a fixed point in the space is analyzed. So a fixed point means it may be a continuous set of points also. So usually this Eulerian method is only used in the kinematic study, and this uses the principle of conservation of moment. So this is one important point. If they ask you what is the principle in Eulerian method is used, means it is conservation of momentum. And then we can see some flow types, that is the basics of this fluid kinematics. So the first flow type here it is given is steady flow and unsteady flow. Okay, so this questions they have several times asked in the exams. So the steady, unsteady and uniform, non-uniform, these four are very important, and the example is also very important because the example and the definition they have asked several times. So here the first one is steady flow. Here the velocity, density, pressure, temperature do not change with time. Okay, so the flow of fluid throughout a pipe, it will be a constant discharge. So this is very important. A flow of that fluid will be having a constant discharge throughout the pipe. So this is only called as steady flow. So now we can judge what is unsteady flow. So the liquid quantity, that is the discharge, will not be same here. So here the velocity, density, pressure and temperature changes with respect to time, and flow in which quantity of liquid per second is not constant. So this is all about your steady and unsteady flow. The next one is the uniform and non-uniform flow. So this uniform and non-uniform is related with the cross section of that pipe or the way which it is traveling. So if you see, for uniform flow means the velocity of fluid does not change both in magnitude and in direction. So the example is flow of liquid under pressure through pipes of constant diameter. So this is important. When it is going through a constant diameter pipe, it will be a uniform flow, but when it is going through an varying section of pipe, that is up to a length there will be of diameter 10 centimeter, means it may be after that 5 centimeter, or it may be increasing like enlarging and contraction. So in these cases the flow will not be uniform, and this is called as non-uniform flow, where the velocity of the fluid changes. So here these examples, these four are very important because they have asked this several times. Okay, so now these four will have a combination. So steady and uniform flow means flow through a pipe of constant dia and rate. Steady and non-uniform flow means flow through tapering pipe and constant rate. So you just keep this alone in mind. If it is steady means the rate will be constant. Okay, if it is uniform means the pipe constant, the diameter of the pipe will be constant. Okay, so if it is steady means rate is constant, if it is uniform means diameter is constant. So this alone if you keep in your mind means you can write the other three. So here it is steady, so rate is constant. Non-uniform, so pipe is not constant, it is tapering pipe. The next case, it is unsteady. Unsteady means the rate is varying, and uniform, so dia is constant. And unsteady and non-uniform. Unsteady, so varying rate, and non-uniform, so the dia also varies, that is tapering pipe. So this is very important. And the third one is the laminar flow and turbulent flow. So this we know already. Laminar means the fluid particles move along a well-defined paths or a streamline. So it will be mostly straight or parallel. So we will be seeing what is streamline in detail. So this is also called as viscous flow or streamline flow also. That is the laminar flow. Okay. The next one is the turbulent flow. Here the fluid particles will not move in a defined path. It will be moving in a zigzag way. So only eddies are produced, and therefore a high energy loss will be occurring when the flow is a turbulent flow. So for defining these two, laminar and turbulent, we use a Reynolds number. It is denoted as Re, which is equal to V d by nu, or you can write this is kinematic viscosity nu, so you can write it in dynamic viscosity also. So if that is the case, it will be Vd rho by nu. So this value, if it is less than 2000, it is laminar flow, 2000 to 4000 it is transitional flow, and when it is greater than 4000 it is the turbulent flow. So this is for pipes alone. Okay, so if it is for channel or some other case means the value varies. So here V is nothing but the velocity, D is nothing but the diameter of the pipe we are taking, and rho density, and you know nu as kinematic viscosity and mu is dynamic viscosity. The next thing we are going to see is the compressible flow and incompressible flow. So the density of the fluid is not constant, means it is a compressible flow, and the flow of gases through nozzle, we generally call it as compressible. Incompressible means the density is constant, so this is for liquids like oil and water. Okay, and then rotational and irrotational flow. So the fluid particles rotate along its own axis, means we call it as rotational. If it does not rotate along its axis, it is irrotational flow. And the sixth type is steady 1D, steady 2D, steady 3D, and unsteady also, all these three categories. So there are 6 different categories under this one. So these are all the types of flow. The next thing we are going to see is the type of lines. So this is also very important. So there are 4 types. First one is the path line. Path line means the path that is traveled by a fluid particle, a single fluid particle. So that only we call it as path line. Streamline means the tangent to the path line. So this is only called as flow line also. So usually the path of that particle, that is the path of the particle path line, will be a curved shape only. So when you draw a tangent here, this tangent line will give you a streamline. So this is also called as flow line. And then the streak line. So this is locus of particles that pass through a fixed point. Locus means it's nothing but the movement of that particle when you transverse that. So here a fixed point is fixed and a particle moving that point is traversed. Okay, and then fourth one is timeline. So set of fluid particles that form a line at any instant, we call that line as a timeline. So these are types of lines. So we know that discharge Q is equal to A into V, area into velocity. So generally it is represented in meter cube. 1 meter cube is equal to 1000 liters per second. So this is known to us and this is important in this topic. So I am telling you again. The next thing we are going to see is the continuity equation. So this is very important when it comes to fluid kinematics. So this is based on the conservation of mass. So this is very important. We already saw Eulerian method is based on conservation of momentum. Here it is based on conservation of mass. So the statement is nothing but the quantity of liquid passing per second is same at all the sections in a pipe or a channel. So the Q1 will be same when the flow is constant in a pipe. Okay, so here Q1 is equal to Q2, you can assume. So A1 V1 is equal to A2 V2. This is for the case of incompressible fluids. When it is a compressible fluid, you have to consider the density also. The next thing is the vorticity. So this is just for this formula I have written here. So vorticity is denoted as this symbol. So this is nothing but the limiting value of circulation divided by the area of a closed contour. So when you traverse the path of any particle, that is fluid particle, it may create a loop like this. So the circulation area and the area which is enclosed in this contour will be taken, and with respect to this the vorticity will be calculated. So this is generally equal to 2 times the angular velocity. So this is only very important. So this is all enough for knowing about this vorticity. So now let us go into the stream function. So this is very important. The questions are asked, even 2 marks are asked from this topics. Okay, so stream function we denote like this symbol, that is chi symbol, and this is the scalar function of space and time such that its partial derivative with any direction gives velocity component at right angles to this direction. So this is the definition of this stream function. So generally the slope of this stream function is equal to 0. So d chi is equal to 0. So here you can write d chi, that is dou chi by dou x is equal to minus v, and dou chi by dou y is equal to u. So this is very important because these two formulas only will be applying in the questions. And then when you take the slope, that is, we have seen this, no, this is equal to 0. So when you equate this both is equal to 0, you will be getting dou phi by dou x into dx plus dou phi by dou y into dy is equal to 0. So you can equate this minus v here and u here. So you'll be getting minus v dx plus u dy is equal to 0. So this is also the second important formula. And the next is the flow between streamline discharge. So this is very important. It is nothing but the modulus of psi 2 minus psi 1 into unit width. Okay, so here the slope, when you take it as dy by dx, it will be generally equal to b by u. So we can term it as m1. Okay, so why I am terming it as m1 means I'll be telling you in the next topic. So here the Laplace equation, so this is just for denoting this, you will be getting dou square psi by dou x square plus dou square psi by dou y square. Generally we won't be using this in the exams, but they may ask straightly which is the Laplace equation like that, so we can know of this. The next topic is the potential function, which is denoted as phi here. So here the scalar function of space and time such that is negative partial derivative. So the same definition only for stream function and this potential function. The only difference is here it is the negative derivative with respect to any direction given the fluid velocity in that direction. Okay, whereas in there we saw it is perpendicular to 90 degrees right angles to the direction. Now here it is in the same direction. So here we denote like this: dou phi by dou x is equal to minus u and dou phi by dou y is equal to minus v. So this is very important. And similar to that, we can equate dou phi is equal to 0. So you'll be getting u dx plus v du. So actually you'll be getting minus u dx minus v dy 1d. When you take divide the whole equation by minus, you'll be getting all the terms positive. So you'll be getting u dx plus v dy is equal to 0. So this is very important. So these two formulas here and the similar two formulas in the stream function. So these four is only very important here. So in the questions, they'll be giving you the terms u and v. So okay, the u and v, how they'll be giving means they'll be giving in an equation form like xy plus y, xy plus 2x square, like that they'll be giving you. So you have to derivate it. So when you derivate u, you'll be getting this value, no? So like that you have to derivate and then you have to find the values. And in some case they'll be giving you the phi values. They'll be giving you the phi values. So with respect to phi, when you derivate it with dx, you'll be getting u. So what this u and v you should do means, we have seen the discharge formula in the previous thing, no? That is modulus of stream function 1 minus stream function 2. So in that, if you apply means, you can get the discharge of that equation, discharge of that flow. So this is what they apply this potential function and stream function. So the similar type of question we have seen in the TRB 2017 exam question paper. So I give that link in the description. You kindly go and watch question number 114. So this will help you. So here this dy by dx is taken as minus u by b. So we will be getting m2. So as I told you, why we are denoting it as m1 and m2 in the stream function, in the potential function means when you multiply this m1 and m2, you will be getting minus 1 as the answer. Because we know that streamline and equipotential line, this potential line is nothing but it is equipotential line. These are orthogonal to each other. So this we have studied already in the soil mechanics. So these are orthogonal to each other except one point, that is called the stagnation point. So when they are orthogonal to each other, the slope of that two lines will be, the product of the slope of two lines will be equal to minus 1 only. So to denote that only, it's given here. So this is also very important. So what is the stagnation point means? A point in a flow field where the local velocity is 0. So local velocity means nothing but u is also equal to 0, v is also equal to 0. So that point only we call it as the stagnation point. And the last one is Cauchy-Riemann equation. So this is nothing but it's the overall formula for this both stream function and this potential function. So here u is equal to minus dou phi by dou x and dou psi by dou y, and v is equal to minus dou phi by dou y and minus dou psi by dou x. So this is just, they have derived it and equated u and v with respect to both stream and potential function. So in the questions, if they gave you potential function, and if they ask you to find the values for the discharge, means you can't apply directly. So first you will be finding the potential function, that is 5 values. So with respect to that 5 values, here you will be getting this term, so you can get d psi. So they will be getting the stream function. So with respect to that, you can apply in the discharge formula, so you'll be getting the answer. So kindly watch that question 114, then only you'll be very clear with this concept. Thank you, and keep watching for the next lecture on fluid dynamics.